and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged match, and this is going to be a review for WWE Crown Jewel. This was on 10/31/19. Crown Jewel, or better known as Blood Money. That's what they should call the pay-per-view. This is the one pay-per-view of the year where you can pretty much guarantee that half the show no one's going to care about. It's not going to matter before. It's not going to matter after. It has nothing to do with any Raw or SmackDown storylines. It's just thrown together. It's thrown together to have some big names and be quite the attraction for the Saudi crowd. I don't know. Let's get into this, man. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. Rey Mysterio is on Cain's side. The match itself was very, very short. Cain Velasquez hits a takedown, starts hitting. Brock Lesnar hits the Kimura lock. Cain taps out. Brock Lesnar stands pretty tall. Rey Mysterio comes in with a steel chair afterwards and just starts wearing Brock Lesnar out. He just starts smacking him with a chair everywhere. So, that was that. That was the whole big build-up that probably lasted a couple of minutes worth of fight. You get a Revival promo talking about how they're going to win the best tag team in the world. These tournaments that they have at Crown Jewel are ridiculous. They mean nothing. They mean less than nothing. Although I was kind of surprised with the way they went with this. So right after that, you also get a Viking Raiders promo. Whatever. You start out with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado, and Grand Metalik. It was decent. Ziggler and Roode win. Then out come Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. You already know they're not going anywhere in this. Roode and Ziggler win. Roode and Ziggler then take on Heavy Machinery. The crowd was really amped to see Otis. Like, apparently they love the character of Otis. Everybody knows I don't. So, Otis had a few good spots there. They really got the crowd reacting. Heavy Machinery win. Heavy Machinery then takes on New Day. New Day picks up the win there. And, you know, this is getting to the point where I don't care because I'm not into Heavy Machinery. And this really means nothing. Out comes the B team. And just like Hawkins and Ryder, you know the B team isn't going to do anything. New Day picks up the win there too. So New Day versus the Revival is next. Decent match here. I liked it. Revival made it look really good at points. But at the end of the day, the New Day picks up the win there. So then you get the New Day versus the OC. And I was kind of wondering if they were going to keep the New Day going all the way. But no. The OC pick up the win here. And I thought that was kind of apropos because out comes the Viking Raiders. Everybody expected the Viking Raiders to win. I did. I'm pretty sure everybody else did. But no, they actually legitimately clean won OC over Viking Raiders. I thought that was pretty cool. The OC, you know, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have been doing this for a very long time, all over the world. Like, they have legitimately been one of the biggest tag teams on the planet for a very long time. So I thought it was actually kind of apropos that they won. I really did. I thought that was cool. Backstage, you get a Rey Mysterio interview where he's talking about, you know, Brock might have bested Cain, but I'm not done with Brock yet. Then you get Cesaro versus Mansoor. And I'll be honest, this might be the match of the night for me. This was damn good. And Cesaro has just made a career of not really having a biggest spotlight on him as he should, and just pulling off these ridiculously good matches with whoever he's with. And Mansoor really impressed me. Like, he had some damn good spots all the way through this match. I was, like, absolutely blown away by this guy. So, very cool. And at the end of the day, I think they said this was Mansoor's first real legitimate match. And he killed it. And he gets the win. in Saudi. Of course, he's from Saudi. And so they have the hometown hero thing again. And he cuts a little promo afterwards where he's really, like, super emotional. People in the crowd are emotional. So it was cool, man. It was a good moment. Then you get a Seth Rollins interview where, he's like, Bray's taking me to a dark place. The sad thing is, I think I actually might like that. And then he kind of goes into this spiel and he talks about how he's going to beat Bray Wyatt. Then you get Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury. They could have left this out completely. Not much about this was very interesting. It wasn't a good match. And Tyson Fury's not a wrestler. He's just not. He's a boxer. Okay, fine. He's got hands. But he's not a wrestler. And you can't be a wrestler in a couple of weeks. So it wasn't there. Like, it just wasn't a good match. At the end of the day, Braun Strowman was out of the ring trying to get back in. Tyson punches him, knocks him out. And then, Braun Strowman couldn't get back in. So Tyson Fury wins via countout. And then Braun Strowman goes back into the ring, power slams Tyson Fury, says, "This is my ring, bitch," or whatever. After that, R-Truth has got the 24/7 belt again. I can't keep up anymore. And so the Singh brothers come out. One of the Singh brothers gets a roll-up win on R-Truth. And then they take off doing their stupid dance bit. AJ Styles versus Humberto Carrillo is next. This is another match that I thought was really, really good. AJ Styles, obviously a phenomenal performer, no pun intended. But so is Humberto Carrillo so far. He's really impressed me. The guy has got a lot of talent. So, it was a very good match. I really, really liked it. And at the end of the day, AJ Styles wins, which you kind of expected. And so the OC just stand tall. Like, they just dominate. So that was cool. They'll have something to talk about on Monday. After that, you have backstage Hulk Hogan interview, doing his Hulk Hogan thing, talking up Ric Flair's never beat him and he's not going to beat him tonight, basically. Then you get Natalya versus Lacey Evans. And here's where I have to really separate personal and professional. Personally, I'm sure that this was a great moment for Lacey Evans, and it was a big moment regardless. There's no way you can say that it wasn't. Women have been oppressed in this region for a very long time. They haven't had the rights to do anything. So to have two women come in and actually perform on the level of the men, it's inspirational in a lot of ways because it's showing that there is forward movement and it gives women hope. This is something to strive for. And being that Lacey Evans, I don't know her real name, but being that she was in the military, she probably has traveled the globe, I would assume. This has got to be a cool moment for her. That's the personal level. Professional level. Lacey Evans is about the worst choice in the women's roster right now to put in the ring to put on a good match. And she had some good moments in the match. But when you're talking the likes of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, I do like Natalya. I thought Natalya was fine. But professionally, they could have chosen somebody way better to have a way better match. The match was okay at best. And that's just where it's at. I'm sorry, that's not trying to be hard on the situation. It was a big moment, and I'm glad they both got it. Personally, you could tell it really moved her. And even Corey Graves, man, after the match, he got all choked up. But the match itself could have been a lot better. At the end of the day, Natalya gets the win. They shake hands, they hug, they're crying. Big moment. Okay. But I just wish they would have picked somebody else for the match. Sorry. After that, you get Team Ric Flair, which is Bobby Lashley. Lana makes a very quick appearance and then runs back out. Shinsuke Nakamura, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Randy Orton versus Team Hogan, which is Rusev, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Ali, and Roman Reigns. I thought this was originally going to be an elimination match. I was wrong. It was just a standard 10-man tag match, which really kind of lessen this too, because I think if they would have went elimination match, that would have been a lot better. But I guess it's too close to Survivor Series. So you had a bunch of, spots in the match. And I don't know that they were even spots that blew me away. You had the main thing with Rusev, Bobby Lashley, that little clash. None of it really landed for me though. I mean, they had some moments, but that was it. They created moments in a match. They didn't create a match. Roman Reigns doing his, jumping over the top rope thing. But none of it landed for me. So at the end of the day, Team Hogan won. Rusev, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Ali, Roman Reigns, and Hogan are all standing tall on the ramp after the match. And I don't know that I cared. Like, honestly. So the last match of the night is Seth Rollins versus The Fiend. This is supposed to be, it has to have a finish. So they did some cool stuff with the match. I really liked some of the stuff they did with the match, honestly, particularly toward the end, where they threw Bray Wyatt into this stuff that sparked and it's supposed to be electric and stuff. Seth Rollins goes in to look for him. Big light flashes, catches him in the face, says he's blinded. Bray Wyatt hits the mandible claw, then Sister Abigail gets the win. Bray Wyatt is your new Universal Champion. I was very happy to see that. That was cool. I liked it. Being very honest, probably one of the highlights of the night for me. The other, honestly, being Cesaro and Mansoor. I thought that was a really good match with a really cool, hometown hero story. Although Natalya and Lacey Evans was a big moment, I feel like it could have been a much better match. So the whole first hour was a tag team tournament, and Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar lasted just a couple of minutes. It was almost pointless. Then you have another full hour of this tag team tournament, which I wasn't invested in. The 10-man tag I wasn't invested in. Lacey Evans, I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan. So there was a huge chunk of this pay-per-view. Oh yeah, Braun Strowman, Tyson Fury. That could have definitely been left out. Huge chunk of this pay-per-view. It really was not good. The highlights, Cesaro Mansoor, that was a long match. AJ Styles and Humberto Carrillo, that was a pretty good match. Seth Rollins, The Fiend. So, I mean, this is just one of those things where it's like you got to put things in perspective. It just didn't work for me on so many different levels. So because of the three matches that I really liked and the importance of the women's match, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. That's all I'm going to give it. Because the first hour was just a waste of time. The 10-man tag was a long match. It was a waste of time. Braun Strowman, Tyson Fury went way too long and was terrible. So, yeah, dude, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I don't think it deserves much more than that at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation, out.